Hey everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Weather News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Cinco de Mayo, or Revenge of the 5th, or whatever name today has. There's been a lot of nicknames for days here lately. Anyway, overall, a very strong warming period taking place here for this week here. We've already saw it yesterday with temperatures around 85 for the high. Today, I think we're going to do better than that, 85. And then I think temperatures will close in on 90 a few days this week. In fact, today could even get awful close to 90 the way it's beginning to look. As always the case, though, let's start off slow here. Let's talk about the outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center the next 3 days. Today, again, I've added on the lighter shade of the green to show anywhere where thunderstorms could potentially develop. Once you get into the green shading, that's where you get into the marginal risk for severe weather, and then the yellow shading is the slight risk. So, again, the main focus today for severe weather is going to be well to our west. Thunderstorm action kind of surrounds us today. Now, as we head into tomorrow, notice that surrounding effect on the north side of that is a little closer to us, and I'll show you why here in a second. So we do have a chance for thunderstorms, at least a slightly better chance tomorrow that we're seeing here today. In fact, today I don't think we'll see anything, but tomorrow there will be a chance for a few to pop up with severe weather again off to our west. And then as we head into Thursday, still a chance here locally for an isolated storm. Severe risk well to our west. Here's a latest look at the visible satellite, and if you look carefully, you'll be able to see how the cumulus clouds did begin to pop here. Just the past, I would say, 30 minutes, there was nothing out there, and then all of a sudden, boom, there they go. They begin to bubble up in the atmosphere, and in some cases, pretty thick too. Layer here of cumulus clouds. Again, we're not expecting them to develop into anything as far as rain-producing clouds, but definitely a mostly cloudy sky in some areas as we enter this afternoon. But despite all that, it has been warm. Temperatures continue to warm. We're right now at 83 degrees. I think we'll climb well into the 80s this afternoon. This model is not too excited about how warm we'll get. I think we have a chance, depending on how thick the cumulus cloud deck overhead becomes, we have a chance to get to 87, 88 today. But again, it all depends on how much shade we get from the clouds here this afternoon. All right, and that's just nearly impossible to say this early in the game. Here's the overall pattern, though, this week. We've been talking about this potential for a tropical system to develop here. Hurricane hunters flew into it. They are still evaluating the situation. They're going to issue another statement tomorrow. It is not a tropical system right now. And in fact, it's only going to become more of a subtropical system as it heads toward the Carolina coast. The big debate will be, how far inland is it going to go, or is it just going to kind of sit here in the Carolinas, or is it going to do a little bit of a loop-de-loop and come back in over the weekend? All those scenarios pretty much on the table. Either way, rip current potential here and some showers and storms and gusty winds will increase to the southeast coast. It's not forecast at this point to be a major event, but anytime you get a system that could get named before the season actually begins, which is June 1st for the hurricane season in the Atlantic, that is a bit unusual, and that's why it's getting so much attention. For us, though, high pressure is getting squeezed here. I mean, it's trying its best to protect us, but the problem is we've got areas of low pressure. They're starting in Texas and then racing to the northeast, and one after another after another. And every time we do, we're seeing the effect here of showers and thunderstorms that get very close to us. But eventually, by the time we head into, it looks like Tuesday, I would say Monday and Tuesday, that is when we're finally going to see the front itself try to push all the way through here. I think this is going to be the period where we'll finally get it into the area and put an end to the mid-upper 80s, and we'll get an end to the storm chance, at least briefly. But between now and then, it's going to be a slow process starting probably Saturday, Sunday, Mother's Day, Monday, and then Tuesday. It's going to take several days to get this front to move through. So this will mean just a scattering of thunderstorms every day. At least it's not a powerful front slamming into us with this much warmth in play. Then we would be talking about severe weather. But that's not the case with this. It's going to be just a gradual change in our pattern the next several days ahead for us as we into the upcoming weekend. Tomorrow, there is one of those areas of low pressure that's moving to the north, and it's causing a little bit of a ripple effect, if you will, on the northern side here of the ridge itself, and that's going to cause a little bit of a curl, if you will, in the atmosphere tomorrow afternoon. So anything that develops tomorrow afternoon, as you'll see here on Futurecast in a few moments, will likely move backwards. That little bit of a curling effect will allow anything that popped to move more west, northwest, if cells can generate at all. But the wind fields are so weak, they would just kind of drift west. But just a heads up there. If you see anything on the radar tomorrow, keep in mind everything's kind of moving backwards on the radar for tomorrow compared to what we're so used to seeing. All right, here's Futurecast this afternoon. Just those cumulus clouds, nice and dry. It's going to be warm again tonight. We had 62 last night for a low. Very similar for tonight. And then tomorrow, again, we'll start off with rapid warming back into the 80s by midday, and then we'll start to see that pop. If you look carefully, you can almost see that little bit of a swirling action here that's happening over southern Ohio. And again, it's right on the edge of that. It's when we'll get the showers and storms to develop on the radar and then kind of drift to the north and west here. Not expecting severe weather. I'll show you why in a second, but some heavy downpours and some lightning and thunder and even some hail are possible. And then on Thursday, we'll kind of see a repeating factor. This modeling goes out to 1 p.m., but if we were to extend it, you would see a few more little pop-ups, mainly east of I-65 will be the better chance for Thursday. Here's the sounding from the NAM model this afternoon. Again, here's the ground level for us, and then here's way up high above us. Very dry profile. Again, the red and the green line. The more they are apart, the more dry air you have at play. And they do come together slightly here, about 5,000 feet, which is a typical case for cumulus clouds to develop. And sure enough, as you saw on the satellite, they are beginning to pop. But it's an unstable profile. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we got a lot of heat energy to work with, but we don't have the moisture fields to really develop into anything significant. And the wind fields, I mean, pathetic. I mean, there's not much wind at all here to get anything really organized. All right, tomorrow, slightly more moisture to deal with. Wind fields, again, fairly weak here, but again, just slightly more moisture. And there is more CAPE here. It's skinny CAPE, but we do have some CAPE to work with. So we do have quite a bit of an unstable atmosphere. You're not going to get situations where you get a storm that's going to produce a squall line moving through. That's not going to happen. You don't have the wind fields for that. But you can get a thunderstorm that can develop, produce heavy rain, lots of lightning, some hail in some cases, because again, it's very unstable. And yeah, you can get a burst of wind, but that's from the thunderstorm itself generating that wind as a downdraft, not necessarily from the damaging wind scenario we would usually see with winds aloft. So, and that would be very isolated. I think most of us will stay dry again tomorrow, but I just want to give you a heads up. If you see the skies look threatening tomorrow, just get inside for a moment, let the shower or thunderstorm pass through, and then all will be good after that. All right, looking long-term temperature-wise, we're going to see the breakdown here of the ridge for this upcoming weekend. We'll get rid of these mid-upper 80s as we head into Mother's Day and Monday, and then cooler weather next week, 70s. We'll move back into the area, and then we'll try to get back into the 80-degree range by mid to late month, but I would say the middle part of the month here is looking to be more average into the 70s. All right, guys, if you haven't heard yet, I'm going to do a special snow talk for the upcoming winter forecast. Don't throw anything, please, at the computer monitor. That will be issued on Friday. I'll let you know when a time once we get a little bit closer. So there you go. Enjoy the warmth, stay cool outside, and don't forget the sunscreen.